chase it. Money's moving to me. I'm a millionaire. Money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it.
Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? Happy Monday to you all. I hope that you're having an amazing day thus far. I know I am, honey, and I need y'all to come on in here and feel it, baby. I need you to get your vibrations all the way up this afternoon. So, if you're watching me live, go ahead and let me know where you're watching from. Rep your city, rep your country. Let me know where the virtual building you are watching me from on this evening, this morning, this afternoon, depending on where you are in the world, honey. Can you feel it? Go ahead and chime in. Let me know who's here. Rep your city, rep your country. Let me know where in the virtual building you are watching me from this afternoon. And I'm going to go ahead and get started with my intro, as I always do. My name is Sharita Leon. I went from being a homeless, disabled, single mom to a two-time #1 best-selling author with books that were on the bestsellers list for over 2 years straight. I'm also a life, relationship, and business coach, an internet marketing strategist, entrepreneur, international speaker, and the protege of legendary Les Brown, a Forex trader and investor. And I empower my tribe to live their God-given purpose while creating wealth and have healthy relationships. I'm also a believer, and my faith is exuded in all that I do. So welcome, beautiful people. As you can see in the title, honey, I need you to feel what I'm going to share with you today. You know, I did a post on my personal page not too long ago. And in that post, it was another video of me literally getting people into the feelings of things, right? And so I want you to understand what that looks like. I want you to understand the importance of feeling. Now, I've shared this with you all many times before, but I want you guys to really understand the importance and the consistency of what is it I'm sharing with you. Why is it important to feel? What does that even mean? When it comes to being able to manifest anything that you want in life, well, the truth is, whether you want it or not, if you feel it, it's going to manifest in your life. And so it's very imperative that we are cautious of what we are feeling, what we are giving ourselves attention to, because those very things are the things that will show up. Now, this is the thing, though. A lot of times we're not conscious of how we feel. We're not conscious of the thoughts that we're having that create the feelings that we have because they have been habitual. These are things that we've been doing subconsciously for so long that we don't really recognize the difference. But when you're able to have a conscious interrupt, as one of my mentors, Mr. Lloyd, says, you're able to be conscious of what you're thinking, conscious of what you're saying, conscious of what you're feeling, because all of it comes together to bring you what you want. Now, this may sound real bogus to some people, right? Like, that doesn't make any sense, Sharita. How can I feel something and then bring it to pass? Well, let me ask you this. When someone says something to you, whether it be something that you like or something that you don't like, what do those words do? When someone says something to you, let's say somebody's using a compliment. If someone says to you, "Oh my gosh, you look amazing. I love how that, makeup looks on you. Your red lips is amazing." What happens? You get a feeling from what someone told you. You either have a feeling of appreciation, you receive it, you feel good about it. Now someone comes to you and says some crazy stuff, right? You feel a certain way when someone comes and they try you, right? The words that they have spoken created a feeling which then caused you to respond, or most of the time react, right? So what if you were able to use that same ideology to be able to create a new thought that would create a new feeling, and that feeling would give you what you actually want to manifest? See, this is why it's imperative that you're conscious of what you're listening to, what you're watching, the conversations that you're having, and being intentional about how do you feel. The song just came to my mind was D'Angelo's How Does It Feel? That's a real thing. How does it feel? Because your feelings are going to tap into your actions, right? And once your actions are now into play, you're going to receive whatever that thing is. So ask yourself right now, what is something that you are working towards? What is something that you want to manifest in your life right now? What is that thing? Now, it can seem very far-fetched. It may seem like it can't come to pass. You don't know how it's going to, but that's not even the imperative part. What you want to keep in mind is, I'm sorry, I can't, y'all talking too loud. Messing up my video right now. Sorry, yeah. So you want to keep in mind that you have to keep in mind the alignment of what you want, even if it may seem like it's too big to happen. Keeping that in mind, that your feeling brings it to pass. You need some proof, right? Well, how do you get your feelings in alignment with your words? Now, there's a story of a man that Jesus wanted to heal. And this man was, he was limp. He couldn't walk. He was literally just, he couldn't do it physically. And so Jesus says to the man, he asks him a question and says, well, what do you want? Now, obviously, anyone with eyes could know that this man needed to be healed, that he wanted to walk. Why would he ask the man to say what he wanted? Wasn't it clear? Of course it was clear. Of course, Jesus, knowing the end from the beginning, knows all things, but he needed the man to say what he wanted in order for him to literally align his words with the feeling of hope and healing, and for his faith to make it come to pass. I need y'all to get that. The man had to say what he wanted, even though Jesus already knew what he wanted, knew what he needed. He had to say it out of his mouth. And as he said it out of his mouth, it would create a feeling and put out into the world and telling God himself what he needed to happen. And so it is for you. If you're able to be specific enough with what it is you want, and aligned yourself with the feeling of that thing, having it already as if it's done, it's going to show up in your life. It doesn't matter how far-fetched it may seem. I mean, it doesn't matter if you don't know how it's going to happen. It is not your job to know how things are going to happen. That has been the most the level, that level of needing to know is just your human side. The human logical side has to understand, well, how is this going to happen? How am I going to make $1 million? How am I going to get married? How am I going to have the nice house? How am I going to, get to college without getting a loan? All of that is the logical human side of you. And in case you don't know, that side of you is the lowest side of you. You are a spirit that lives in a body. You are a spirit that lives in a body. Not only are you a spirit, you are the spirit of God also on the earth. As he was, so are you. And so you have to now begin to believe that and know that I don't have to know how things are going to happen. I just need to know that they are. And so if I can consistently feel as if I've already gotten to my end result, I'm going to manifest the very thing in which I feel. And so now you have to practice consistently speaking what you want, so that way you can consistently feel as if it's already done. This is why it's also very imperative that you put yourself in certain environments to make you feel a certain way, right? To make you feel like what you already want. It's just like having exposure to a lifestyle. I don't know if you guys remember, the show Cribs back in the day, and they would show you the lifestyle of these celebrities and the beautiful mansions that they lived in. And if you ever watched that show, if something resonated inside of you and said, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. Oh my gosh, I'd love to experience that. Oh my gosh, one day that's me. That can be your very well reality. Watching that show gave you a feeling. You resonated with it. You became identified with it. And so the same thing happens. I shared a video today of, oh goodness, his name Malcolm, right? MJ. And he did a video talking about how you need to act and look rich, right? Or walk rich, feel rich. And that's a real thing. Talking about going to a store that you can't afford, but you go in there anyway to get used to the feeling. Let me tell you something. I have been blessed to be around a different group of people. I've been blessed to see what it's like to be around celebrities. I've been around celebrities and being part of their entourage and seeing how people treat them, right? More often than not, they're treated way better than the average person. And so being around that circle, just like you were to go, forget this celebrity circle. If you were to go to the Ritz-Carlton right now, the way you're treated at the Ritz-Carlton, as opposed to the way you're treated at Motel 6, is totally different. Okay? It's totally different. But the feeling of you going into the Ritz-Carlton just to go and see what amenities they may have, even though you know you're not going to stay there that night, right? You know you're not going there for vacation, but getting accustomed to knowing what it feels like to have someone serve you on that level, to have someone show you where to go instead of tell you, oh, just go down the block and make a right. No, have someone literally escort you there is a totally different experience. And so, as you are more consistently being around that, you get to feel the feeling of being rich, being served well, being respected to a certain degree. You now start to expect it. I need y'all to get this. I'm spitting some game on y'all. I really hope y'all get this. I'm gonna sip my coffee on this right here. My Capri CBD coffee, by the way. If you don't have this, you need it in your life. Okay. Once you start feeling something for so long, you start listening to that thing for so long, you put yourself in that environment for so long, now you begin to expect it to happen. Expectancy works in alignment with your faith. Expectancy works in alignment with your faith. So if you're expecting something to happen, guess what? It happens. It's no different than if you know that you ordered something from Amazon Prime. And y'all know how y'all do with Amazon, right? You order this thing and you're excited about it. You are tracking that package because you know that it has to come within that 24 to 48-hour period. So your expectancy has you looking on the app. The expectancy makes you stay home to ensure that you're there when they drop it off. Your expectancy now is yielding a level of energy and excitement and a feeling for when this package shows up for you. What if that very same expectancy was what you utilize as a tool to get you the new business partners, to get the new customers, to get the relationship that you want, to live in the home that you want? Whatever it is, to start the missions, go back to school, whatever. What if you could feel that now and expect it? It has to show up. It has to show up. Listen, one of my favorite scriptures is write the vision, make it plain, right? So that those that see can run with it. And though it tarry, though it may take a little while, don't give up. Why? Because it has to happen. It will surely come to pass. It will surely come to pass. That's the promise. The promises of God are yes and amen. They can't go back and forth. It's just what it is. The question is, are you going to endure long enough? Are you going to remain in the practices and in faith to align with it manifesting in your life? That's what it boils down to. I was having a conversation one day with someone, and the context was in the matter of a particular business deal. And they said, you know what? The way I'm set up, I can't lose. They said the only way for me to lose is for me to give up. Oh, I need y'all to get this. They said the only way for me to lose is for me to give up. Do you realize that the only way that you lose in this thing called life is if you give up? Is if you tap out? Is if you decide to no longer practice what you know to do? If you stop learning, if you stop growing, that is the only way it doesn't work. If you give up. I'm gonna sip some more coffee on this, honey. That renders a different type of attitude, a different type of mindset. Now, all of this takes practice and consistency. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. Because the thing is this, once you think you've gotten to one level of manifesting or understanding how to live out your faith, something else greater is going to come to make you elevate in what you were thinking and the things that you were doing before to take you to that next place. This is why the scriptures say that we go from glory to glory and faith to faith. From faith to faith, glory to glory. There are different dimensions of what you're learning, which also means you're always going to have to evolve into a greater way of doing things. And there's going to be another stretching to get you to that place. And so when you can realize that how I feel conducts my way of living, it shifts my atmosphere or the lack thereof, you'll start to be more conscious of how you're feeling. And literally pay attention. Pay attention to what happens in your day-to-day activities. Pay attention to the thoughts that you're having. And literally you see the difference from point A to point B by being intentional. Most of us are operating as robots. Most people don't think. And they're like, Sharita, how dare you say that? But it's the truth. Most of us are programmed by our subconscious mind. So our subconscious mind is what leads us. We wake up in the morning. We know to do this prayer. We know to go brush your teeth. You know to take this route to work. Whether you're thinking about it or not, you know how to get there. I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and they're like, I don't even know how I get home, but I just get there. Because their subconscious mind has programmed them on how to get home. And so it is with our lives. So we're not thinking because we've put all this stuff in our head from the years that we've been on this earth. And so we just go on autopilot, just like a car. Push the autopilot and it's gone. Now, as conscious adults, realizing that if where I am right now is because of the thoughts that I've had thus far, I have to change my programming and I have to be conscious of the thoughts that I'm having, conscious of my feelings. Have you ever had a conversation with someone and you could tell that something is off? And you're like, what's going on? Like, what are you feeling? You're like, I don't know. I just feel, but it can't tell you. You got to snap out of that real quick. You have to change how you're feeling. Because literally, as I said before, everything and who we are, everything's energy. We are all energy. Everything has, and the words that we speak are energy. Our thoughts literally are energy. Like scientifically, that's what it is, right? So if you're around the wrong energy, or if you are the wrong energy because maybe a bad situation took place, whatever the case may be, if you don't shift it quickly, it takes you down quickly. And this is why I talk to you all about having an emotional first aid kit, right? Your emotional first aid kit is to get you out of your feelings and into your truth. Oh my gosh. I saw a post the other day that my CEO, Mr. Kenny Lloyd, did. And that first sentence of this long post he made in his stories was all I needed. And that sentence just blessed my entire life. And I honestly don't think I'll ever forget it. It may seem simple, but let me tell you, I got a deeper revelation from it. So in this post, he said, I'm paraphrasing now, when you operate out of your feelings or your emotions, you are out of your mind. Oh my gosh. I'm going to say that again. When you operate outside of your feelings or your emotions, you are operating or you're out of your mind. You are crazy. It's the revelation I got. You are crazy when you start operating from your emotions if your emotions are not in alignment with what your thoughts and your mind is telling you to do what's right. Right? So this is why it's imperative that we put so much focus on what we're thinking and what we are feeding ourselves. I'm telling you, I listen to personal development and scriptures. I want to tell you, almost 24 hours. Almost 24 hours. And I would call my daughter Zanny out here. She's not gonna come on here though. But every time she comes, she hears something. I'm playing something in the background. Right? Why? Because I have to consistently reprogram my mind. So I'm unlearning, I'm relearning, and I'm learning all at the same time. But then on top of that, I'm building my faith. I'm building my belief. Faith comes by hearing. That's a consistent way of living. Because once I can hear it so much and I can get into the feeling so much of what I'm listening to, I've already established it as a truth. And once it is established as a truth, I don't need to have a stamp of approval from anyone else. I don't need to have any physical proof of what I already know. It's already solidified in my heart and in my spirit. And so the aftermath is it has to happen. And once it happens, the world sees it. But it's not when the world sees it that it was actually done. It was done a long time ago. In fact, it was done before the foundations of the earth. The Alpha and the Omega. God sees the end from the beginning. And we have to start to learn how to live from our end, not where we currently are. Living from the place of being opulent, living from the place of being whole, living from the place of being already in an amazing marriage or relationship. Hence why I have the Single Wives Academy, right? Operate from that place that's already done. Everything else follows. And I've talked to you all, and I'm going to keep sharing this story until the day of Christ returns, right? I'm going to keep talking to you all about how I manifested so many things in my life, how I felt it, how I saw it. From literally imagining and feeling myself on tour with Les Brown, where there was no way in the natural that that was ever going to happen. Like there was nothing. It was like, oh, I know so-and-so that could hook me up with so-and-so that would get me before him. No, there was none of that, okay? There was my faith and there was my visualization. It was the words that I spoke and the feeling that I had that created that. In fact, I was looking at my stories today, and 4 years ago today, we were on tour in Detroit. That came from me feeling and speaking and believing it to be so, and then it happened. Me living where I live now, that came from me feeling, seeing it. I mean, it happened literally the way I saw it. No exaggeration. From the call of approval, the email. I wish y'all could, I need y'all to get this. The email and the call happened exactly the way I saw it in my imagination. When I was visualizing, when I was literally in my time of prayer and meditation, I felt it and saw it the way it actually happened. I need y'all to get this. Because once you get it, it will change your life. It will change your life. Don't get caught up in the time frame. That's why a lot of people miss it. Because it didn't happen yet. So you keep going until it happens. You will reap if you faint not. That's the word. You will reap if you faint not. Your business didn't blow up yet. Okay, keep going until it does. You didn't find the spouse yet. The spouse hasn't found you yet. Okay, keep believing and acting as if until it does. Quitting is never an option. Now, granted, there will be moments that you have your ups and your lows. Like that's just life. That's the ebbs and flows of life. It's going to happen. But when you're conscious of how you're feeling, you now know how to change it. Perfect example, okay? Let's say right now you had an interesting morning. You know, Monday statistically is the day that most people dread. They dread going back to work. In fact, Mondays have been the days statistically where most people have heart attacks because of the stress of going back to work. So let's just say you went to work today and one of your coworkers just got on your nerves, okay? Now, you may have started the day well. Maybe you got in the car, you were vibing to your favorite song. Maybe you had your scriptures together, had 5 a.m. prayer, you were good to go. Then you get to your office and then someone gets on your nerves. So what happens? That high you were on, the frequency, the energy you were on just dipped down. Now, you have a couple of options. You can choose to stay low and battle with that person, right? And lay around that bad energy. Or you can say, no, we're not doing that. Let's stay right back up here. And the moment you make that shift, things change because you have to be conscious of what just took place, right? But then there are also outward things that can help you with how you feel. If you're having a bad moment, because I don't believe in having bad days, right? If you're having a bad moment, honey, you better drink you some CBD coffee. Y'all think this is a game. When I talk to you all about drinking this coffee, it's intentional. I'm not a coffee drinker, okay? I drink the coffee because it helps me feel better. I drink the coffee because I have pain in my body, and so it helps with that. And then I drink it if someone tries to get on my nerves. I need to go ahead and sip. That's real talk. If something is trying to get to me, I need to sip. If I'm finding myself tired or finding myself feeling just kind of foggy, what am I going to do? I'm going to pop me a flare. Why? Because it's going to get my energy up. I have to have proper energy that aligns with what I want. I can't say I'm expecting new customers, new business partners with the right attitude, with great work ethic, and then my energy is so low that they don't even want to talk to me. That doesn't make any sense. That's counterproductive. And that's why some of you are not seeing the results that you want, because your words aren't aligning with your actions or how you're feeling. So I know that if I pop one of these plant-based energy capsules, it's gonna get my energy up. I'm gonna feel more excited, right? The guarana is gonna help me with mental focus. So now I'm doing the natural and the spiritual at the same time. The spiritual is being able to speak over my day, speak over how I feel, reminding me of the promises of God. That's the spiritual side of things, right? Seeing myself there. The natural part is, honey, I may have to sip me some CBD coffee and pop me one of these flare pills to get me my energy up, right? All of this stems from the feeling. How does it feel? How does it feel when your supervisor tells you that you've been promoted and now you have a raise? How does it feel when the man of your dreams lunges on you and pops the question? How does it feel? How does it feel when you get on the scale and realize you just lost another 5 pounds this week? How does that feel? How does it feel when the contract that you have been working for with the city finally comes to pass? What does it feel when you make your first $1,000 in one day? I remember what it felt like when I did. What does it feel like when that person you wanted to connect with finally connects with you? What does it feel like when you hit that rank and baby, bam, you're diamond? What does it feel like? Practice the feeling now. Don't wait for it to manifest and then feel it, because I can promise you this. If you can feel it now, it'll happen faster than if you wait for the manifestation. I'm going to say it again. If you feel it now, it will happen much faster than if you were waiting for the manifestation to take place. Because remember, we're living from the end and we're bringing that to our now. Okay? We're living from the end and that's coming and bringing it to our now. And once you do that, the world sees it. The world sees it. It's already done. When God created the heavens and the earth, when he created Adam and Eve, he already knew Jesus was going to come to earth. It wasn't like, okay, dang, Adam and Eve messed up. What are we going to do now? No, he already had the waymaker as the redemption of man. He didn't have to think about it. When Abraham was going to go and sacrifice the son that he had been promised for all these years, God already had the ram in the bush waiting. It wasn't now, oh my gosh, she's really going to go and sacrifice him. Let me see what I can do. No, the ram was already there waiting. The provision is already there. The provision is already there. The people are already there. The customers are already there. The opportunities are already there. The house is already there. The travel, whatever, the missions work, the orphanages that you're going to create, the schools, the legacy, everything is already there. The questions, are you going to catch up? Are you going to catch up and catch up consistently? That's the other thing. We catch up here and catch up there is not the same thing. Everything must move at a certain pace. And your consistency determines how it shows up or the lack thereof. So if you're consistent one day, consistent 3 days, consistent for a whole 3 months, and then something throws you off, your fruits will show, right? So today, I want you to really practice what it is that I'm sharing with you. Because I promise you, if you become conscious of what I'm saying and you detect when you're feeling a certain way. And you can literally shift it when the thoughts come. You'll see how your life changes. Like today, I had a thought come to my mind and I had to literally say out loud, not just in my head. I had to say out loud, nope, Sharita, you're not going there. Sharita, you're not going there. Because, honey, before you know it, you done plotted a whole conversation. You're ready to go. You're feeling a certain way. You're like, where did this come from? Because you allowed that bird to come build a whole entire nest in your mind. That's where that came from. You may not be able to control all the thoughts that come to your mind, but you can control how long they stay there. I'll say it again. You may not be able to control all the thoughts that come to your mind, but you determine how long they stay there. And if you let that sucker stay there too long, honey, you have a whole plot and scheme, and your whole attitude shifts and changes, and now you're mad at the world. And for what? But what if you use that same idea, that same tool, that same strategy for the things you actually want? See, we're used to doing that for things we don't want. But what if you can actually allow a thought to come to your mind, daydream on it, see it in its clarity and specific, and watch it happen and feel good? What if you did that? I'm telling you, your life would change. So with that being said, today, apply what I shared with you. Watch it come to pass. Believe it's going to come to pass. Expect it to come to pass. And I'm telling you, things start to change. People come out of nowhere. Like, who is this person? How come? Listen, just receive it. Just receive and watch how things shift for you. So if you want to go ahead and also try the CBD coffee I was telling y'all about, you need to get in my inbox and get you some. You could try 5 today for $25. That is a sale. If you want some of this energy that I'll tell you about too, honey, get in my inbox. You can get some of this as well. It will bless your entire life. Do you hear me? And if you would like to work with me personally and help you get to the bag, hello, somebody. Let's go and do that as well. You can inbox me and I can show you how to do that. I've been helping a lot of people do that for many years. And you want to be one of them, okay? You know that it only takes $274 a day to make 6 figures. And I've started a quest to get 20 people there this year, and we're almost there. And you, my friend, can be one of them. So get in my inbox. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm also sharing with people how to make up to 120 or more a day, just copying and pasting on social media. Real simple, and it works. So I got to go. Thank you for watching. Until next time, only believe until the end and go get your life. Be blessed, everybody.
I'm a millionaire, money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it.